Okay, maybe not.
Did you call?
Let me see real quick.
No yelling. They have a baby in there. All right.
Gotta keep it
Yeah,
calm.
we're not gonna know that. I don't know where he's at.
Don't yell at us tonight, all right? Stay calm.
Township board meeting. No, not planning. Yeah. Yeah.
He thought it was next week.
Second Thursday.
It's 7:05 with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And clocks.
And clocks.
All right, roll call, Supervisor Bogey,
Here.
Clerk Stephanie here, Treasurer Joel,
Here,
Trustee Olga,
Here.
and Trustee Nick,
Yeah.
begrudgingly, right?
barely.
Approval of the agenda. If we look through it, reads it.
Yeah, there's only 3 things on the agenda, but I did want to add the fall cleanup day. So that would be
New.
new business number 2.
It's good.
I made the agenda. I
Okay,
can't
I make a motion to approve of the agenda for tonight.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment on agenda items only for 2 minutes. Anybody online except for Karen? No.
And I need, there's a correction. It's new business number 3, not number 2. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, because new business is audit, he's been mowing, and so it'd be number 3.
It's new business, not old business. Old business is
yes.
Come on.
Yeah, fall behind today. That vote got us down on Tuesday, man, it was wild. All right, no public comment. We need approval of the previous minutes. I think everything in it was good, if I remember right.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll support that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, we'll go to disbursements. So payroll this month was around normal, so $9,779.09. No real big thing. We've had a couple inspections with Bill Zuski's and Mr. Tubbs for plumbing, electrical, and mechanical. Other than that, no real issues. You'll see 2 for Olga there. So I accidentally did not pay Olga last month. So we cut her a check immediately when we found out. So that's why she has 2 checks this month.
All right.
Yes.
And we got her, what do you call it, meeting for fire board.
Meeting
too.
for fire board and her mileage, yes. So then we'll go to vendors. Very similar, so $10,939.07 this month. You'll see DTE. We had some engineer stuff. You'll see Rick Sweet on here twice, how the invoices fell. He just landed in 2 checks this month, but it was for June and July mowing. We have our 941 tax due, so you'll see all of that type of stuff. And then the Simply Clean Power Wash was approved last month, so we paid them for the power washing before the election. So that's a total of $20,718.60.
I make a motion to accept the payroll and the vendors.
Support.
Roll call, Supervisor Brody,
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes, Treasurer Joel,
Yes.
Trustee Olga,
Yes.
Trustee Nick.
Yes.
Fund balances.
All right, you got 172,817 in the general fund. Tax account has 131,317. Fire fund has 194,462. Road fund has 68,831. Farm saving is 63,909. The ICS, skipped over that, it was 410,685. Our CDs are 422,621. We have code relief money left of 33,449 for a grand total of 1,464,644. If I give you that without the tax amount, which is $1,333,329, that would be ours. None of the tax money is ours that I collect. Not much anyway, not enough to see some. And that's your fund balances.
What's that?
And that's your fund balances.
I make a motion to accept the fund balances.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Opposed? Motion carries. Billing report.
During July, 5 permits were issued for buildings, 3 electrical permits, 1 mechanical permit, 3 plumbing permits, and the inspector completed 4 inspections. But I don't have a total of what the money came to.
He's actually gonna put together a,
A report that you can pull off of
Yeah.
BSNA.
because we get the new BSA for him now, so he's got some things to work on that. But I think we're doing really well in the building department for the first time ever.
Good.
That's kind of a good thing.
I make a motion to accept the building report.
second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. How's Karen doing today?
Hello, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Congratulations to all of you for being voted back in again. That's good.
You?
Everybody's glad the election's over.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as far as what I've been doing, I've been reviewing parcels on Hickory Road, first utilizing the aerials and GIS mapping and scheduling field visits. I'll be actually visiting about 52 parcels on Hickory Road. Probably one or two of the next 2 Fridays, might take 2 or 3 Fridays actually, but I'll let you know to put it on Facebook so people will know when we're out. Other work, I conducted July board review. We had 1 correction to a personal property tax filing. I'll continue to analyze residential land values and economic condition factors for the 25 assessment roll. Land values are really high. Everything's high, but it's really interesting to see what the prices are coming in at. It's kind of shocking actually, but anyways, so I attended a 4-hour continuing education class. The topics were very interesting, assessing in plain English, which was interesting. But one of the topics was called the Bath School Disaster. Have any of you guys heard of that? It happened about 100 years ago.
No.
No, it was I hadn't heard about it either, to be honest, but the topic was about the Bath school disaster and how it affected taxation. So, I mean, I don't want to go into it now, but I do have some paperwork on it. But apparently a guy who about 100 years ago, was actually in 2027, it'll be the 100-year anniversary. And Bath is up by Lansing. And apparently the guy was very upset about his taxes and he burned down the school because they were going to build a new school, or they did build a new school.
He blew up the school.
He blew up the school. And I don't know if he burnt, I don't know, Les. My husband says he blew it up.
Yeah, I studied that, a lot of dynamite.
Okay, my husband studied it apparently, so he says he blew it up. But anyways, it was just really sad, like 58 kids died, but
Oh,
and it was because he was so upset over his taxes and the new school. So that's kind of interesting. But anyways, so and then the other topic was about the upcoming audit. It's going to be in 2027, so we'll start working on that in a few years. But I'm working on it now, but we'll start preparing for it more in 2020, about 2026. But I've been through a few of those before, so hopefully it'll all go well. And becoming a better mentor, that was the other part, but it was a very interesting class. So if you guys have any questions on any of those items, let me know. I'm also working with BSNA Cloud to learn to import the building permits. I think we've finally got it figured out, so it did work the other day, so hopefully that'll be a plus, so I won't have to manually enter them anymore. When the building department enters them in, I can just import them into assessing, so that's a very useful tool. Going forward, I'll conduct the field reviews, organize for building permits in the fall, and work on 2025 values, and then prepare the clerk statement for the taxes, statement of taxes, which is due October 1st. So that is my report.
Thanks, Karen.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yep.
I make a motion to accept the assessor's report.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Ordinance report.
Ordinance report, Mr. Dooley was on vacation from the 17th to the 24th, but he made 2 inspections. One at 10,700 Ann Arbor Road for grass, and one 10,390 Dennison Road. Chickens and the zone request for new barn.
I make a motion to accept the ordinance report.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Milan Fire Department report. We got about 17. We had about 17 fire runs on there. Looks like a couple more invalid, or no incidents found on arrival. The 17 is usually right and around. We get 23, 19, 24, 12. So 17 isn't a bad number. We seem to be doing pretty good in that department. Me and Olga just went to the fire board meeting last month. They got one truck that's going down. They're going to order a new truck. It's about $750,000.
It's a lot of money.
And it takes 2 years to get it. So
Sorry.
I think that was it, wasn't it?
On the incident sheet here, there's 2 for a building fire on, oh, that's the one that we went to all the way in Monroe, correct? Okay,
It was like an assist.
that was a,
The Michigan College of Beauty. building.
yes, thank you.
So that's all I got in the building. There's the fire report.
I make a motion to accept the fire department report.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next subject. This one's gonna be a shocker. That number is true at the very bottom. We've had 85 incidents out here last month. But normally we have a high of 40 to 23 to 30. I mean, we had 85. So what happened was, most of them are TSs, which are traffic stops. The state police are now patrolling out here more because Monroe County can't keep up. So they sent the sheriff out, or the state police out here. And they're hitting US 23 pretty hard, I guess. So
I have passed more state cops between here and Navy and 23 from Carpenter, well, Willis to Dundee.
yeah, it's getting heavy. But I called him and sheriff was a little peeved at me. He goes, no, that's a report. I'm like, dude, 85, what's going on? That's what he said. What's that?
I said, I wish they would show up more on my road.
Oh, they're gonna be here shortly. Our sign should be in here quickly, so that's gonna make a big difference. So they'll be out here pretty hard. Other than that, said, he said, actually, when I did talk to sheriff, though, he goes, break-ins are down, everything else is down, so our crime rate's down, just traffic stops are way up, so. That's pretty much all I got.
I make a motion to accept the sheriff's report.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's the next section.
You could make that traffic stop hundreds if you just sat out here all day. long.
Literally.
You know, that's a crazy.
You know, they sit over there right at Ann Arbor Road and 23 right there, right in that little area right before you
I always
get onto the dirt road of Cone. And it's like, you're not gonna catch anybody there because they're already slowing down to either turn onto 23.
But they're running.
Blow stop
That's
signs,
what it is, okay.
Yeah,
especially the Chrysler.
they could catch somebody there.
Yeah.
Sure.
I've never seen anybody pulled over though.
I've seen a couple.
Have you?
Yeah, down on the freeway because they blew the sign.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I will say I did see somebody almost get T-boned. They almost blew the Ann Arbor stop sign and there was a truck about to turn onto 23 going north and they almost got T-boned.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's- It'd be a bad intersection.
Yes.
All right, on the old business. Swords.
Yep, so I put the solar ordinance on the agenda just because I wanted just to get a little update of where the planning commission was at, so just so it doesn't fall off our radar. The moratorium does expire in September, I think September 16th. So I just kind of wanted to see if this is something that's gonna be brought back to the board for our review, next month, or if you're still working, if the PC is still working on it, if we need to reevaluate the moratorium. Just wanted to see kind of where we were at.
We're just waiting at this point for the, not the attorney, but the engineer to change some wording for those two items.
Okay.
One was for the,
Substation
yeah, the substation was one of them.
Something about the.
and is it the checking of however many years?
Yeah.
3 years,
Check, yeah,
three-year
yeah.
item, changing that wording down to every 3 years.
Okay.
Instead of-
So I didn't know if we wanted just to chat on, do we think this is gonna be something that will be available to us for the September meeting, which is the Thursday before the moratorium expires? Or do we want to extend it by a month just to give us a little bit of wiggle room or,
It'll be ready to go, but I would extend it in.
Okay.
Just to make sure.
okay,
Let's just spend it, yeah, I
Or
don't
just-
know, 1 month.
do till October?
Yeah.
Can somebody grab me the Monday after our meeting, that date?
Wait, what month?
October?
October, the Monday after would be the
Yeah.
14th.
Yeah.
14th.
That's what I'm thinking, that'd be good.
Okay, so I make a motion to extend the solar moratorium by a month to October. What's that Monday?
14th.
14th.
Okay, Monday, the 14th of
Columbus
October.
Day.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on that?
No, just like to get it done.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree, I want it done too.
Should you put something on for when too? Weren't you guys doing that together? When does that come up?
I don't know, is the PC working on something for wind?
No,
Nothing yet.
Nothing
I
yet.
thought the moratorium.
that's
was the
up
same.
until. the
Yeah, that's not,
20
I think that's 20,
25.
yeah, 2025. So we'll, yeah,
Oh,
we did the wind, I think it was a blanket 2-year. So I
Okay.
think that took us to 2025.
Yeah.
It's on the whiteboard in there, so I'll double check that to
Okay.
make sure, but yeah,
Cool, thank you.
because, yeah, we were just looking at those dates. Did I get a second? Sorry.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
So going on to new business, Sarah is here from our auditing partners, and she met with Joel and I yesterday to go over our last year's audit. So I will give you the floor.
Thank you. Thanks for having me tonight. I'm doing it a little bit differently this year. Instead of flipping through the pages of the audit report, I thought I'd just put together a little PowerPoint. And I forgot how tech savvy you are.
Yeah.
So next year I'll actually email you the PowerPoint too instead of just printing it out. The first part of the audit is our independent auditor's report. And in it, we state that in our opinion, the financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the township. So this is what we call an unmodified opinion, and it's the best audit opinion we can get. So it was another good audit this year. Every year it just seems to be getting better and better. The next letter we have in our audit on the next slide is our internal control letter in accordance with government auditing standards. So this letter we have in your audit is only because you receive the ARPA funds. Because you're receiving federal funding, that the standards get a little bit more strict. And we have a little bit more reporting to do. So in this letter, we state that a material weakness is a deficiency or combination of deficiencies in internal control where there's a reasonable possibility that a material misstatement would not be prevented or detected and corrected on a timely basis. And we had 4 weaknesses this year. The first one is for financial statement preparation. I would say 95% of our audit clients get this comment. It's just that we prepare your financial statements for you. It's the disclosures and the year-end entries. So when we submit this audit to the state, they say, do you have material weaknesses other than financial statement preparation? So it's something we have to disclose, but it's not necessarily frowned upon. The next one was for audit adjustments. We had some material adjustments, again, not completely out of the ordinary. Some of them had to do with the ARPA funds. Some of them are just the year-end accruals and changes in capital assets and that type of thing. The third one was for bank reconciliations. This one, so when Joel does the bank, he does the bank recs every month. I hate talking about cash and board meetings because I want to say that everything with your cash is fine. All the money is accounted for. There's no missing money. It's just that when he does his bank reconciliations, they're not always taking the extra step with the clerk and the treasurer reconciling the books together. So we had to make some adjustments for that. But other than that, everything was fine there. And then we had a couple of issues with the budgets. One fund adopted a deficit fund balance, which we were not supposed to do. And then I can't remember offhand how many, but there were a couple funds that the expenditures exceeded the budgeted amounts. So when you're doing the budget, the biggest issue was in the general fund, and it was just that the ARPA funds weren't budgeted. The revenues or the expenses, they cancel each other out. So the bottom line was fine, but the state only looks at the expenses. So so this year, make sure you're budgeting the ARPA expenses and then just give yourself some cushion with anything that's gonna be tight. And then that letter also states that a significant deficiency is a deficiency or combination of deficiencies in internal control that's less severe than a material weakness, but important enough to merit your attention. We have one for you, and it's for federal grant compliance. With the ARPA funds, there's a report that's required to be filed, I think by April 1st every year. And that report wasn't filed, and Stephanie has gone round and round with them to get it filed, and she just can't get online access to submit the report. So I know that she's working on it, we all know she's working on it, but it's just something we have to comment on. So that takes care of that. And then I'm just gonna highlight each fund. So the general fund revenues increased about 98,000 and totaled 452,000. Your property tax revenues increased 8,400. Your ARPA spending totaled 82,000, and interest income increased 18,000. Last year, I believe interest was about $800, and this year it was close to 19,000. So they moved some money into different accounts and gotten some really nice interest rates, and it's definitely showing. Expenditures increased approximately 97,000 and totaled 352,871. General government expenses increased about 58,000 due to some capital spending. So we have the BSNA upgrade, the hall carpeting, and the ADA compliant doors. All of that was spent out of ARPA funds. The building department increased 6,800 due to the BSNA upgrade and an increase in salaries. Cemetery increased 23,000 due to tree removal and increased maintenance costs. And then road maintenance increased due to the purchase of a road radar solar stop sign for 13,000. And again, that was ARPA funds. The total ARPA spending was 82,547. In the general fund, the fund balance increased 98,423 and ended at about 1.1 million. This fund was over budget and expenses by about 71,000. The road improvement fund had revenues totaling 156,000. Property taxes increased about 6,000 in this fund. Expenditures totaled 299,000. The projects here included chloride and then work done on Cooper, Heiser, Petersburg, Milwaukee, Hickory, and Farr. Your fund balance decreased 142,408 and ended at 144,856. There's nothing wrong with the fund balance decrease in this fund. Anytime you have a millage fund, the point is, to get the taxpayer money in and then spend it on improvement. So nothing wrong there. The fire and rescue fund have revenues totaling 129,000. Taxes increased about 5,000 in this fund. Expenditures totaled 153,000. That's all pretty much to the Milan area fire department. Your fund balance here decreased 22,379 and ended at 146,000. This fund was over budget by about 12,510. The liquor law fund had no activity and the fund balance sits at 2,899. This is a restricted fund, so that money just has to sit there. You can't spend it on anything else. And then the streetlight fund had revenues of $9,400, expenses of about $9,500. $1,000 was transferred in from the general fund just to keep it as a positive balance. And the fund balance increased $895 and ended at $915. This fund expenses were over budget by $1,030, and this is the fund that had the deficit balance adopted. Other highlights: total cash for the township ended at 1.6 million. Just over $1 million of that was FDIC insured, which is great. These new ICS accounts pretty much give full coverage and they have good interest rates. So that's nice to see. I've seen a lot of my clients move to those accounts. And then your ARPA fund balance at the end of the year, which was March 31st, was $76,868. And that's all I had. This was nice audit. Everybody here is great to work with. We appreciate all of your work. We know it's not a fun process to go through, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
questions for me?
Is it getting it easier for you now?
It is, yeah, yeah. And it helps to be here and do some of it too, so we like that, so, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Make a motion to set the audit.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion, granted. We got easement mowing. That's really stuck in my brain. So we got a little problem with some of the, not all the farmers, just a few. About, not you either.
No.
They're planting real close to the road. I got a couple people can't pull their driveway and see because the corn is right to the road. They took the ditch out and planted the road. So I'm gonna, Amanda and me are gonna get to draft a letter to them. We got a couple other parcels. Yeah, we are. A couple other parcels in the area that there's bushes and trees growing up. You can't see around the corners. It makes it dangerous. So we're gonna contact them. I'm gonna see if they'll mow it themselves. If they take care of it, it's great. If not, then we're gonna have to come up with some kind of, we'll mow it and we're gonna charge you back because it's getting old. A couple of them are the same offenders every year, if I remember right, correct? Yeah. But seems like some of the other big farmers in the area, I've already looked at theirs and they're not planting right to the road anymore. They're giving.
Because what's the requirement? Like what's
It's
the,
supposed to be 50 foot down, 50 foot across, and then a diagonal line drill is supposed to be an easement. It's supposed to be clear. We don't really enforce that. It's kind of big. But we just got a couple of properties here. I think we need to address that, deal with it, send some letters out. I think that's what you ought to do first. Then we got down on Cooper Road, someone hauled a bunch of logs out in the middle of the dead end of Cooper Road and the semis can't get around it now. So I gotta go talk to him, see if he can push, we'll send a letter out to him as well. Like you need to get the logs out in the middle of that. It's not your property. It's county. So grain trucks can't get around that. What else? I'm going for ride along with a couple of farmers next week as far as getting trees trimmed. You are included in that.
Next week.
Huh?
I'm gone next week.
So, well, call me when you get back,
I know.
because we need to do some driving. I'm going with Scott next week. They got a couple, I think a road on Wells, one on Sherman and somewhere else. You can't get a piece of equipment on it.
so keeping with the easement mowing, just because we have to, is there anything that we need to approve or a motion that you want to put on the table, or is this just a little bit of a?
No, let's give them a little letter and see what happens. And if we don't fault, then we'll have to put something in place.
Okay.
I think that's the way to do it. I don't want to start charging people for something that don't, they can take care of it on their own, it's not a big deal. That's pretty much all I got on the easement mowing. So we can go down to,
Number 3,
Fall
fall
cleanup.
cleanup day. So, September is usually when we have our fall cleanup day where we have Stevens come out with the dumpsters. So, Mark, you were thinking the 21st?
or the 28th, one of those two. I gotta call them, I called them and I can't remember what I talked to them about, I didn't write it down.
So,
I'll call them tomorrow.
but do we just want to make a motion to say either of these 2 dates would work up to a certain amount of money?
Yeah, because last year we had a little,
Right, and so I think, and you guys let me know what you think, but I think we need to have a record of how many trucks are here, how many
Absolutely.
dumpsters are here, because it was a he said, she said situation in,
and they came up with the rules now that you can't have, like some guy brought in shingles one day and they turned him away.
Right.
Because they want them in bundles so the guys can easily throw it into the dumpster.
and I wanted very clear with them, when you
Yeah.
talk to them, that if they turn somebody away, it is the residents' responsibility to take it down there if they want to get rid of it. The township is not paying for
No, they made one
that.
exception last year and accepted it, took it, didn't charge.
Okay.
So,
But when I talked to Jim, he
Yeah.
made the comment that there was a conversation and an agreement that the township would pay for anybody turned away that went down to the actual.
so that worked out okay, but yeah, what was $5,500 for trash day?
Yeah.
And when you negotiated back down to about 45, because they added another truck and they didn't use.
Correct.
What was the other thing? The big slide offs, they only used 2 of them, they charged for 3.
But it seems to me we need to let the people know. what item-
Absolutely.
Correct, and so in May, they didn't send us the rules, and that was my fault for not following up with him. But everything was done over the phone, so if I have conversation with them, it's all gonna be through email. Because they have just been a little sneaky with our regular trash that we get picked up on Mondays, as well as the last cleanup day.
Yeah, because when I talked to him, he had kind of went between us.
Numbers start changing
Yeah.
and dollar bills just start getting
We've
racked
got
up.
cameras out there now.
We do have
We
cameras,
can
so.
see exactly what comes and goes
Can,
that day
yeah.
if you want to.
So I make a motion to contact them for either the 21st or the 28th of September. For a, what do we want to say, $5,000
Yep.
budget? Yes, Amanda.
Could I suggest maybe contacting Fairway Disposal and see, compare prices?
I
They
could.
have garbage trucks, he could maybe bring a garbage truck here and do the same.
I know that has been brought up in the past, and it was expressed that Stevens, when they're here, they do a very good job. And I think it's the communication before and after that's a little bit of an issue. I have no problem seeking other.
I think
I mean,
we're
I've not personally had any interaction with them, but I've
Right,
read a lot of good things online. and-
I have too.
I mean,
so,
interaction with them in that
Yeah,
respect.
so I mean, I wouldn't have an issue with getting a second.
I call.
I just don't know if they would supply the guys, like.
Correct, and I think that was the biggest thing with Stevens, we
If you
already,
don't get the guys here, then we got.
we can't.
Absolutely.
No,
Mark's gonna be tired. about
Correct.
that.
So,
Okay.
so touched.
Him and Olga, they just.
Yeah.
wiped out.
So, yeah, so I make a motion to, get 2 quotes from Stevens and Fairway for the 21st or 28th of September with a $5,000 budget.
I'm good.
Are you seconding that?
I'll second that. Roll call on that.
Supervisor Bogey?
Yes.
Clerk Stephanie, yes. Treasurer Joel?
Yes.
Trustee Olga?
Yes.
And Trustee Nick?
Yes,
Board member comments.
I switched it back to you first.
I see that. Oh, good. I got a list, man. I think we'll just do a quickie on this one. Oh, basically, I sent out a letter to a resident used about Township Hall. with people who are running. Also, Cadillac Asphalt broke down. When they were doing the Denison Road, they broke down, so they took an extra day to do the asphalt. So I went down and talked about that. They got that done. I think yesterday they were doing the berms. Because they never did those yet. They're doing those. And then today they stoned Denison from Hickory to Cone. And then it did this right, Cone from Wabash to US 23. They stoned that today as well. Hopefully you sweep it up tomorrow. We'll see what happens there. The county came out and did some ditch cleaning on Sherman between Meade and to the railroad tracks, that end of Sherman. And then went on the other side from, oh my God, what road is that? It's gonna be Platte to Wabash. They could clean it out. They're taking out a big tree. I got owner's permission to take that down and hose out the culvert, so this guy get some drainage down there. We had a guy come in the office yesterday about drainage issues. I drove out there today and took a look at it. It's pretty minor, but we need to address it. Something the county will take care of for us, so jet it. They also went on Milwaukee Road and cleaned from Petersburg down to almost Ardings.
Not quite. They went for-
Yeah, it's a little bit down
Driver
further,
to the-
right?
to the- to the-
Because they were having some, their water was sitting in their yard forever, so it's kind of nice to get that done.
I think that's about as far as you're gonna get.
Yeah,
They didn't go the rest of the way to Petersburg.
no, because there's no way to
There's
really,
no need for it.
right, because there's really not a ditch or nothing down there. Other than that, I want to take time to thank Joel for running a couple screws in our ramp out here, so our people didn't trip coming up for vote day.
You don't want that.
No, I appreciate that. I sprayed the weeds out here this year. I think I got them dead finally. It took a couple tries, but we got them. And the poison ivy's gone.
We'll be back next year.
Yeah, I hope not. The tank got filled, the power washing company come out and power washer off, which looks really good. Pretty much, I think that's about it. What's that?
Our sign.
Our sign came in yesterday. That was entertaining. Me and Joel and the truck driver got it into the office, so we're gonna work on that next Wednesday, right? Maybe?
Yes, whatever you want.
Whatever I want, yeah. Pretty much that's it. I mean, everyone, the election went well. There's no issues or people screaming, yelling, jumping up and down. Signs were put in, signs were taken out, so. I think that's all I got. And I want to welcome on board Shelby, one made it through the primary. We got the vote coming up in November, but I don't, from right now, I guess we're all running unopposed, so. I know that, I'm really happy with the budget, because you and Joel have been working on it pretty hard, so. That's all I got, so.
Well, you stole my thunder with the election stuff.
Oh,
so.
sorry.
That's okay. We had a good turnout with the election. 411 ballots were cast. So we had a good turnout. We had a little over 80% of our absentee ballots come back. So that was huge. So just know that for the general election, you will not receive an absentee voter ballot application. If you're on the permanent ballot, you will just automatically receive one. If you're not, you won't receive it unless you contact Jen or I, and we can get you on that list. Brenda from Raisonville sent me the information regarding early voting. We had a surge this year. 7 people went to early voting from Milan Township today. I think 35 altogether with Dundee, Raisonville, and Milan. So they were busy. We had 3 inspectors down there on 3 separate days. And they said they had an average of 10 people a day. So waste of time, waste of money. But golly, you have 10 days to vote along with absentee ballots. So yeah, general election is coming up in November. If you come into the office, you will see a whole slew of dates that Jenna and I will be working through to make sure we're hitting all of the responsibilities, make sure they're all done. And I just want to say thank you to Jenna. She was an absolute star again this August for the election. I could not have done it without her. So thanks to all of our inspectors. They were wonderful as well. It's a long day. They were here from 6 a.m. until 11 o'clock p.m. I got home around 1 o'clock from Monroe County after delivering the envelope. So, but we were not the last Township to deliver, so we actually did a lot better this year than we did in February. So hopefully November will be easier. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Bring it up.
We're looking for a BOR member, board of review. So if you're into taxation and home values and, well, put the word out, we're looking for somebody. We're gonna need some guy's gonna retire. He said he's had enough. 85 years old. I think he's done it long enough.
Who is it?
Samuels.
Oh, Sam?
Yeah, he's tired.
88.
He was just mowing his grass and mowing the ditch.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of projects going on.
Yeah.
he said he's done, so we gotta look for a board of review member. So you know, anybody that's into taxation and home values, and
And they only meet, what, like 3 times a year?
we meet, actually 4.
Or,
2 of them are for about a half hour.
Okay.
The other 2 are 6 hours one day, 6 hours the next day. That's it. That's all the time to meet.
No.
Yeah.
No, you meet 3 times in March, 1 time in July, and 1 time in
Oh, there's,
December.
yeah, a setup meeting, right? Yeah, that's kind of hilarious.
You mean the
That's another
organizational-
30-minute ordeal.
That organizational meeting you mean? In March?
Basically size, drink a cup of coffee, shake hands, say hi.
Yeah.
We're gonna be on this day and then we all leave. I mean,
Yeah.
But it's required.
It doesn't take that long.
it's kind of funny. So anyway, if anybody looking, we're definitely interested in it. I'm done with that. Mr. Treasurer.
Nobody wants to hear from the tax guy, so. Everything's going well. We're starting to finally get through this BSNA cloud, figuring that out. So that's going along better. Other than that, we'll keep trugging along.
Anything else? No.
Oh, that's it.
Trustee Straw.
I think I seen stripes on Congo.
ooh, stripes on Cone Road. Just to make you realize how thin that road really is.
That's a long time coming on those stripes.
It only took us 5, 6, 7 years maybe.
Yeah, it took a little while. They're on there.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good.
Took a lot of phone calling. I finally got them.
And Dennison Road is stone chipped. Kind of blocked my driveway, so it's
Is that why you're late?
yeah, it's slippery. The stones are real slippery right there.
He spun around like he's like.
Right?
Yeah.
You're doing donuts like the
No,
guy
I
out
wasn't.
here.
But that's it. For the planning commission, we're trying to final out the master plan. And a lot of that has to do with the all the charts and data that we gotta get from the county. So that should be finalized out here as soon as we get the stuff from the county for a draft anyway. And then solar ordinance. Can't believe it hasn't been in here yet, but I will find out from Pat if
You
Have they got
Point
it
at
here yet?
yourself.
have they got it to you yet? The
Well, we got the language saying what they wanted, but I guess we gotta redo it and approve it and send it back to the board.
gotcha.
Okay.
So that'll be next Tuesday.
Anything else, sir?
That's it.
Jet lag from the trip?
Jet lag from the trip. Chew.
All right, trustee Olga,
I have nothing,
are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. How's the roads out by you, okay?
Well, it's kind of bumpy
Is it?
when you go over the tracks, but you should slow down and you should stop.
Key word there.
Stop.
Yes.
Catch there, Olga.
That was a good.
And
catch.
look both ways.
Yeah.
Oh, on to the staff. You got anything?
Stephanie covered everything.
A new member of the staff.
Yeah, we have
I see that. Do we have to like pay
Training here.
training? Okay. Good.
Sleeping on the job.
Yeah. She's had a hard day.
Yeah, you were a trooper. I tell you what, watching you rock your kid and doing all this stuff and on the computer the other day and on the phone all at the same time. It was pretty impressive. How you do it.
I don't either. Cause you don't have a choice. I'm tired.
And I got deputy supervisor / clerk of London Township.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
Super close race at London
Yeah.
for everything.
Yeah, I won by 15 votes.
I think everybody won by,
And I was one of them.
Well, I
Oh.
appreciate that, thank
I'm
you.
not impressed with what we have.
yeah.
Well, I really hope she doesn't switch over to treasurer, because we're gonna butt heads. But anyway, that's not what I wanna talk about. First, I want to let you know that I followed up, I looked, on Ostrander, I did not see a no-through truck sign coming this way.
Okay.
So maybe talk with Penny about it, I don't know. I came from Wells and, I went to Wells, so I don't know if there's anything, I don't
Past that.
There isn't.
which there wouldn't be, there would be this township, so.
Yeah, it'd have to be
And
down
if
at
you
the
guys
other
have
end.
never put anything out there, then there wouldn't be.
Yeah, it would, if it were me, I would have put it right at Plank. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
Because there wouldn't have been any,
Mhm.
reason to put it any further down, but who knows
Right.
people's
And
thought processes.
now that I think about it, I gotta look to see if there's one going the opposite way, going to Yench.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's one going that way, is there?
Because they passed a truck ordinance, didn't
Well,
they?
yeah, you probably know a lot more about that. You look at
I
those
live
roads a
in-
lot,
That's right.
a lot more than I do.
There's no truck route signs at all.
Okay. I know there's on Tuttle Hill, but, I didn't know, the other way I looked. Anyway, regarding the Stevens truck thing, Stephanie, I know you gave me a list, and what I'm going to do is I'll make sure, it was a while back, it was a allowed and not allowed list.
Oh, yes, I was
If-
like, what are we talking about?
Sorry, I have it all straight out,
Trash.
in here,
Yeah.
just keep looking like you're totally confused and I'll keep trying to explain.
Perfect.
So you already gave me that list, if you would follow up with them
Yeah,
again when you contact them, that way we can make sure that the list is up to date. And then I'll post it on, or me or Jen or whichever, post it on the homepage of the website, that way it's very clear, everybody can see it.
thank you.
I just wanna make sure it's correct.
Yeah, I was.
Before I post that, and then,
I was planning on, after Mark talked to whoever, either Jim or somebody else down there, I was gonna forward it to them to say, this is what we had previously, any updates?
Yeah.
So then we can just make sure that there's no,
awesome.
but thank you, guys.
And also, you were talking about the absentee ballot application. We could put that, like a link to the application up on the pop-up on the website. That
That'd be a
way,
great idea.
just in case anybody wants to vote absentee in November.
That would be a great idea.
And also, we can put it on Facebook, a link to it as well. And same for looking for the board of review member, if you would like for
Yeah,
that to be put on there, we could put it, I'm volunteering both of them over here, but I'm willing to.
yeah, no, that would be great.
Put it on, I say we, because I don't wanna, just take it. Cause you can totally share it, I'm totally okay with that. But yeah, that way, kinda get it more out there, I
That'd be
guess.
perfect, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Real quick, though, I did call Penny, the supervisor over there in London. Give her a hard way to go, congratulate her on winning, and then told her, I said, we get our millagers on the first try. They're on their third try,
Helps when we get the right wording.
and right dollar amount. I did call our lawyer today too, and thanked him, because it all went through, and he was,
He was,
Shocked.
yes, and he was a big help.
Yes.
We put him under the gun on that one accidentally, so,
Who's the one?
Marty.
yeah,
We called him last minute to say, hey, we need this by tomorrow, and he shot it right to us. He reviewed it and made sure everything was appropriate, so.
there was about 6 phone calls back and forth, and we got her done, on the ballot, and done, so.
Nice. We're on
And
time.
triple charge.
Yeah,
Probably.
No, actually, I seen the bill pretty cheap, so I'd have to say no. Okay, we're down to public comment for 5 minutes. When you do make a public comment, please state your name. Any public comment?
I have a question. Jackie Dickerson, I live on Jensen Road. The other day when I was out by the road, all of a sudden, here comes a wide load or oversized load. And he goes running at me like I'm supposed to get out of his way. And I'm wondering what's going on with this truck ordinance. Is it in effect?
It's in effect. We're waiting for signs, which we just did at the last meeting, got the placement. We're gonna put all the signs. It's gotta go back to the sign shop. We had to add on per Milan Township ordinance, da, 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 da. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the 7-Up semi trucks going by.
oh yeah.
The
but
problem
that's-
is, it's not enforceable by law enforcement because there's no signs
Yeah.
letting people know that there's no truck route. Right, so once these signs are up, nobody can say, well, I didn't know. Well, yeah, you passed a sign that says no truck route, you're supposed to turn around.
And I'm actually
So-
trying to get a approval, because I need help on that, Amanda, when you get time, an email to Dundee Township. We need to get permission to put the sign on M50 in Dennison. Otherwise, it's gonna be a day road,
Yes.
which is gonna be a little tough. So I think we do it down at 50. She's gonna bring it to a board meeting. We just gotta get that out ASAP because our board meeting's next week.
Okay.
We get permission, we can put one sign all the way down to their township.
Yeah.
So, and plus they're gonna work on truck ordinance now too. What's that? Good?
Yes. I'd be glad when it goes into effect.
We will
You and
too.
me both.
I think
we're
everybody
actually-
on Wabash will, I know Platte Road will,
Milwaukee.
Denison will,
It's to the
Milwaukee,
point where it's dangerous,
100%.
you know.
Yeah.
It is, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
People don't get over when you're out there.
You gotta sit here in the office one day and just count them walk by. You can't even count them all.
People slamming on the brakes and.
Anybody else? Holy man.
Hot damn.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:59.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?